What's up guys, Chasing Lamey here with something brand new on the channel. We're going to do a rebuild. I know everyone does rebuilds, but this one should be slightly different, hopefully. We'll see. Who knows? Anyway, there's a lot of teams in world football that definitely deserve a rebuild, and today's is no different because for as long as I can remember, I say for as long as I can remember, for the last 20 odd years, they've just been starved of success as a fan base, and they've got a rich history of being successful. They've been in the top flight for something like 80, 90 years without relegation, but it's been a long time since they've looked like actually winning anything. They've just kind of been stuck trying to avoid relegation, trying to survive, and I thought we'd change that. So today's club, of course, is Everton. You've read the description, I'm sure you read the title. We're going to rebuild Everton. We're going to try and do it in 5 years. I'm going to set ourselves some goals where it's not necessarily about winning a title, try and win some trophies. The last time I remember, someone in the comments will correct me if I'm wrong, I could look this up very easily, but I'm not going to. I think the last thing they won was the FA Cup in 1995. I don't remember them winning anything since then. And it's been nearly 40 years since they won the league. It's been a long time for Everton without a trophy. So I thought we'd dive in, try and rebuild them, not necessarily get them a championship. I think it's a longer project to get them a championship. But I think we can get them into Europe consistently. I think we can get some trophies. So let's see what we can do in 5 years managing Everton. I'll join you at the club on the first day. So let's talk you through the challenge we're walking into. This is, of course, is before they got their 10-point deduction. I did a Your World starting mode for this. So we have a transfer budget of minus 10 million. We have to sell players to be able to bring anyone at all in. We've got about £110,000 a week in wage budget to use. But unfortunately, you'll see we can't actually do anything to adjust that because it will not allow us to do it. So we're going to have to overhaul the squad. Despite that we've got 101 million in the bank, the debts are nearly 900 million, as in real life. Quite a lot of debt. Projection is not good long term. This club's in a bad state. If we look at, first of all, the league table, we'll see what we're predicted to do. The board want us to avoid a relegation battle. The media think we can finish 15th, which would avoid a relegation battle. And it says that they want us to avoid a relegation battle, but they also want us to finish mid-table. It's really weird. Definitely, you all saw it, clearly said on that competition screen there, board expectation, avoid a relegation battle, but if we go into the club vision, they want a mid-table finish, and that's required. So, already we're seeing some of the problems at Everton. Mixed messaging. So, let's look at the squad and see what we've got here. In the first team, we have way too many goalkeepers. I don't know why Andy Lonergan is still playing for a Premier League club. At his age, he would be murdered at his age, I think, with any quality striker against him. He's obviously going to be on the chopping block. We've got, obviously, Jordan Pickford, very good goalkeeper. James Tarkowski is okay, but I wouldn't hang my hat on him long term. He's already 30. Michael Keane's already transfer listed when we get here. Probably fair. Mason Holgate and Ben Godfrey, I don't see them as top Premier League players. They are, if you're fighting relegation, Premier League players. Jared Branthwaite has some potential for the future. We'll see if we can extract that from him. Seamus Coleman is out injured long term, so we have Nathan Patterson, who's got some potential to play on the right-hand side. That's good to see. Same with Vitaly Mialenko. Decent potential on the left-hand side. We'll try and make something out of him. We'll try and make something out of Mackenzie Hunt. Alex Iwobi, it says he's got potential to grow. I don't really see him as being anything more than a mid-table Premier League player. James Garner has some potential, but again, how much? Decore and Gaye are probably going to be shipped out fairly quickly. Anana, good potential. We'll keep him around. Andre Gomez can go. Dwight McNeil, of course, can stay for as long as we need him to. And then up front, we have some ability. Damari Gray hasn't moved to Saudi Arabia, of course, in this universe, but probably will get sold anyway. And we've got 4 good strikers. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a good target man, but he's never really struck me as being a goal scorer. I mean, he's had 47 goals in 181 appearances for Everton, which, very quick math, is a goal every 4.5 games-ish. That's terrible. I don't know how he's managed to get. I mean, he got to Everton having played for Sheffield United for years and never scoring a goal, and did nothing on any of his loans. I don't know how he's got there. I feel like he's one of those lucky players who just somehow gets to stay at a top club because someone rates him for not. He's basically a modern Emil Heskey. He's really good at holding up a ball and good at nothing else. So we'll see how he does, but I don't think he'll be around too long. We'll give him a year to prove himself, but I don't think it's going to happen. And they've also got Neil Maupay up top, who, again, I don't understand the logic of Neil Maupay. Let's have a look at his career history in full screen here. He's played for Everton for a year already. 1 goal in 27 games is unacceptable. Previously at Brighton, where he's had, 100 and something appearances, 26 goals. He was good in the Championship for Brentford. I say good. Had 1 good season. We got 25 goals. Got 12 the year before that. Got 11 goals in 28 on loan at Brest. And before that has had, 60 appearances in the league, in Ligue 1 in France, and has scored 7 goals. He's not a goal scorer. I mean, calling him a striker feels fraudulent, but he can't play anywhere else. He's just stealing a living at £50,000 a week. Definitely not a player we're going to keep around. Anyway, let's see what we do with the first transfer window, how we're going to set up, and then we will sim to the end of the season, and we'll see how things shook out. So at the end of the transfer window, you can see that I've done things very much the Everton way, I suppose. I've sold a bunch of players. Obviously, a lot of these guys were gone before I got here. Let's have a look. Andy Lonergan was the first one I sold. Got rid of him for 20,000. Michael Keane I got 10 million for. A couple of young players, Luke Butterfield and Jack Barrett, have gone. Edward Jones, another youngster. Jason Jensen, Metcalf, Tyler Onyango. I've sold most of the youth team because they're doing nothing for me. Matthew Mallon was another youth player, 2.1k. Ellis Sims has gone to Al Tal, which I'm going to boldly assume is probably in Saudi Arabia. It is. There we go. We knew. He's gone for 3.6 million. And then a bunch of other players. Andre Gomes has gone to Bournemouth. I sold Damari Gray to Nottingham Forest. Mason Holgate I've sent on loan to Hoffenheim just to give him some football. Same with Jean-Philippe Gbamin, who is another youngster who should be developing. Won't get in the team this year. Alex Iwobi has gone to Real San Sebastian, which I think is Deportivo La Coruña off the top of my head. I never know with the name fixes, or without the name fixes, but he's going to go and make us some money because he won't be playing. Abdoulaye Doucouré, again, I just need to get some money for him. 75 million brought in over the summer. And I've done a very Everton thing with the signings that have come in, whereby I have brought in players who've cost very little and are probably past it. So I brought in Johnny Evans because he was available on free, and Johnny Evans is a quality centre-half for a 35-year-old. We'll have a look, see what he can do for us. It's going to very much be a case of let's just use the old boys and see if we can stay up, get that mid-table. For now, Arnau Tenas is coming in goal, 22-year-old Spanish goalkeeper from Barcelona B. He has cost us absolutely nothing. He was released at the end of last season, so we've taken him on board. He'll do quite well for us, I think. Alexis Sanchez, of course, we all know Alexis Sanchez, has been playing for Marseille last year, previously United, Arsenal and Barcelona. He's 34, 155 caps for Chile already, which is crazy. He's declining, but again, he's more of a goal scorer than Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I say more of a goal scorer in that he gets a goal every 3.5 games rather than every 4.5 games. But he's a goal scorer, so that's what matters. Samuel Umtiti has never really shown the potential he had when he started coming through, I think. But again, gives us options at the back. Has been playing in Italy last year, previously, of course, of Barcelona and Lyon and the French national team. Still only 29. Jordi Alba comes in on free. I think he's still one of the best left-backs in the world at 34. And he'll help us out immensely. So we've brought him in from Barcelona following his release to give us a quality left-back to really hang our hat on. Ashley Young has come in because Ashley Young always comes in wherever I go, I feel like. Just because he can play everywhere. He's a solid player and will give us a little bit of extra everything. Again, on a free. All these players coming on free. Some good free transfers out there if you look on FM24 this year. Jesse Lingard has come in. That young upstart at 30 years old has finally found a home for now at Everton. Can play everywhere and hasn't scored a goal in quite a few seasons, I feel like. I feel it's been a while since I've seen him score a goal. 2 years since he last scored a goal. Yeah, Jesse Lingard, not necessarily having the best run, but hopefully we'll get the best out of him. Inigo Martinez has joined us from Atletico Bilbao, 32-year-old centre-half. As I said, it's very much an old boys club at this stage, but he has given us a little bit extra at the back to help us out, which I think will at least strengthen depth. It's going to be about rotation this season, so I'm not going to pre-pick any players for any positions. Daniel Amati has also come in at 28 years old, centre-half from Leicester. Again, we just needed some more blood in there, and I think he's pretty good. Hopefully he'll do something for us for a couple of seasons. Adama Traore has come in, and again, he's a winger. He's 27, so we're getting younger from Wolves, previously of Barcelona, having spent time at Borough and at Aston Villa and God knows where else. He's been around a little bit, has Adama Traore, but I think his pace will give us a little bit of something to attack with, which will help us stay up. Controversial, I suppose, Benjamin Mendy joins us from Manchester City. I want another left-back to back Jordi Alba up. Vitaly Myelenko has sort of dropped in star rating as I've been signing players. Relative to the rest of the team, so 29 years old, Benjamin Mendy gives us a backup option. We also have Mohamed El Yunusi coming in for us, able to play on both wings, 29 years old still, 52 caps for Norway, previously of Southampton and Celtic, so he's had some experience. He's not very quick, but hopefully we'll produce something more of an inside forward, and hopefully we'll make the best use of him in that regard. Felipe Caicedo comes in to give us an extra option as a striker. I couldn't register him, but he'll do really well for us in the Cups. Again, we're looking at a goal every 3.5 games with him. It's really hard to find a striker on the budget we had who is a consistent goal scorer, so we're just hoping one of them hits a vein of form and I get lucky, really, with this season. Matt Doherty comes in at right back, obviously with the injury problems we've got with Seamus Coleman. Having 31-year-old Matt Doherty joined from Atletico Madrid on a free transfer really does help us out, previously of Tottenham and of Wolves, and has been around the block a little bit. Just good, solid. Well, will do well enough to keep us there is what we were looking for. A returning Everton player is James Rodriguez, 32 years old now, still 92 caps for Colombia. Comes back after a 3-year absence where he's been playing for Al Rayyan and Olympiacos, having previously played for Madrid and Bayern and Monaco and Porto and every big club you can imagine. I still think he's a really good player. He's quite lazy. That's my big criticism of James Rodriguez. He's not the guy that's going to dig you out from behind, but his technicals and his mentals otherwise are pretty good, as are his physicals. I think he is kind of the creator we need to get us some goals out of the strikers we have. We also have Roberto Gagliardini, who's come in as a defensive midfielder primarily, formerly of Inter, on a free. Good career in the Italian top flight, 7 caps for the national team and 29 years old. Just hopefully we'll do enough to help us keep the goals out. And then I started spending some money because I could. So Alejo Veliz has joined us from Rosario Central in Argentina. He's a 19-year-old striker, 4-star-ish potential, but I just think this guy is probably more of a goal scorer than the guys we have. I know he's still on top of a goal every 2.5 games, but frankly that's an improvement. So we'll see if he can become something for us. Hopefully he's got some talent to offer. John Solis has joined us for 600k from Atletico Nacional, 18 years old, holding midfielder. Lots of room to grow. I think he'll become a really good Premier League player. We're just going to let him slowly develop into a first teamer for us, possibly send him on loan. Sergio Cameo has joined us for £11 million from Atletico Madrid. Another striker, because I'm desperate to find someone who's a goal scorer. He's got a 1 in 3 record, give or take, over his career so far. So it's improving slightly. We'll see how that translates into the Premier League, but does give some competition to Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Alexis Sanchez. So we'll be okay up top, I think, for now. And then the last player we signed is Brian Gruder, who is a midfielder, an attacking midfielder, able to help maybe chip in with some things. 19 years old, German, joined us from Mainz. £11 million, I think, is a good... Sorry, £3.5 million, brain mix-up. I think he's going to be good for us. So let's see what we're doing tactically, and then we can zoom to the end of the season. So tactically, we're going to go with a 4-2-4 gegenpress. I just felt like this was a way forward for us to control possession. Maybe we've got players good enough to hold on to the ball and prevent things going in our net rather than trying to just pile defenders back. I want us to be able to at least play some nice attacking football. If I do a quick pick on this, which is the first day of the season, it's going to recommend this starting lineup to me. I think that's probably what I pick. I'm not going to firm anyone for the season because it just feels like none of these players should be playing every game. I want to get some rotation going. I think as a striking partnership, Calvert-Lewin and Alexis Sanchez should be pretty good for us. I think they should get some goals between them. They certainly should be able to play off each other well. James Rodriguez on the right-hand side will contribute both goals and assists. Dwight McNeil likewise. We've got two good holding midfielders in there to be able to help us together. We're also, looking okay so far. And the back four, Jared Branthwaite, I want to give him as much time to develop as I can, see what he turns into. But otherwise, pretty solid, I think, all round. So far this season, we have... Let's get rid of these friendlies because we've just been playing friendlies for match fitness. Get rid of those. Good stuff. So far this season, we've played a couple of games as we get to this Manchester United game. So we've played Newcastle, we've played Sheffield United, we've had wins in both. Still a few days left on the transfer window, but I don't think I'm going to do any more business. We have some money in the kitty, but there's no one out there that I want. I had a look. There's no one in there who is inspiring me to try and make money. So let's zoom forward to the end of the season and let's see if we can keep things going. We are currently sitting third in the Premier League. I suspect we're not going to finish there. So we've made it to the end of the season and we finished 12th in the league, which is a pretty good return for us, all things considered. We'll look at the competition, see how things have shaken out for us all over. The cup final hasn't been played yet, but to be honest, we're not in it. We have gone out in the FA Cup early this season. In fact, we'll have a look, see how early we went out. I think it was around the 5th round. Was it the 5th round? 4th round. We went out early. It didn't go well for us. We lost to Liverpool 3-1 in the 4th round to go out of the FA Cup. We also got knocked out of the Carabao Cup in the quarter-final by Burnley. But, we've hit mid-table somehow. That's gone well enough for us so far. In terms of transfers, by the way, I made a few more transfers. I'm working on a few more transfers right now, in fact. Bit of a sneak preview. I came back and I made a few more transfers as the end of the window was made. I saw some players that were good enough, and plans always changing. We shifted a few things around. I think we got a big bid for someone, came in towards the end of that window. And we didn't, in fact. But I did sell Alexis Sanchez and Felipe Caicedo halfway through the season, and Johnny Evans and Neil Maupay, because they just weren't doing well for us. Same with Ashley Young. He wasn't doing much for us. Gaia, I got a bid for. I took it. Myalenko, I sent out on loan. Hjalmar Jr., our backup goalkeeper, I sold to the MLS. I then turned around and I brought in some more players. Alex Kovacevic is an Arsenal goalkeeper in real life. He's been released and I have picked him up as a backup. I just want to see who he develops. He has done before for me. Ernest Dumar cost me 21 million from Northland. He has been okay so far. Good return for him, and he has added something to our attacking midfield, our wing positions. Bit more pace, bit more fire, and he has helped us out amazingly for us. I don't know why I said it like that, but there you go. It's life. Filip Stankovic joined us on loan this season, 22 years old, on loan from Inter. I need another goalkeeper. He was the man for the job to be the backup, and that's what he's done for us. Anderson Duarte joined us from Defensor Sporting, a 20-year-old Uruguayan winger/striker with some potential to grow, which is good for us. He has played a few Premier League games this season. He's done okay for us. He cost us the grand sum of 1.2 million and spent most of the season on loan back at Defensor, finished the season off with them, and hopefully has come back a better player. Duggan Almadar also came in, another goalkeeper. As everyone who watches the channel knows, I have a real habit of hoarding goalkeepers. He was young, he was cheap, and I thought we'd see what we could get out of him, and it's not going to be a lot. But, mistakes have been made. We have also started to build slowly for the future in the process as well. So we brought in Conor Boyce-Clark, another goalkeeper, 21 years old, with Premier League potential. Hopefully will develop himself better. We've brought in Wilfred Nonto, because of course I needed a striker. I've been saying all along I needed a striker. He's had 6 goals in 17 games for us, which is a pretty good return. And he's looking alright. He's looking fine for us. Has been amongst the challenges. The fact that he can play all over the place has really helped us out, which is good. I also brought in Facundo Buonanotte from Brighton, 10.75 million to develop him. which I think will help us out a little bit. With the young player being 19, he's had a cap for Argentina already. He's only going to get better. A big start for the future. We're starting to build that team of the future for Everton. Same with Ashley Phillips, 7.25 million from Blackburn. He's not quite ready to be a starting centre half for us yet, but he's got massive potential and will be ready to start in the Premier League soon enough. So I wanted to get him in whilst I still can, and that's gone very well for us. Japhet Tanganga, I just signed for 5 million from Spurs because I want another centre half, and he's played once, and he's not very good, to be honest. I think I got fleeced. He'll probably be sold on over the course of the summer. Likewise, we brought in a loan of Cesare Casadei in January because I needed more players in, more central midfielders. The central midfielder wasn't ticking. He was available on loan with no wages, so I brought him in, and he played twice, and he was rubbish. Maybe don't sign him on your own save. Same with Raul Waters, who's just a favourite of mine from the Roxham save. Cost me nothing in terms of wages, so I brought him in. Martin Vaillant has also joined us from Mallorca. He's a Slovak international, able to play in defence and in defensive midfield. Brought him in just to add depth to the squad, and I wasn't unhappy with his signing. He didn't do well, but I wasn't unhappy with it because he provided cover. Ivan Perisic came in for £1 million, and I didn't play him much at all. He was unhappy there. I thought I'd pick him up on the cheap. I thought he'd do well for us. He's not really been able to make it into the team. But, you know, he's even Perisic. You hope for the best. Same with Davinson Sanchez. I think it's paid $8.75 million for Davinson Sanchez as centre-half. He did come in. He did play. He has actually looked okay. He's only 27. I think he can get a few years of good stuff out of him. But he's not quite there yet. So that's kind of been how things have shaken out. In terms of the season stats, though, our highest appearance maker this season, Dwight McNeil. He has played 37 games, or started 37 games for us, 9 goals, 8 assists. Not the worst return in the world, but he's also our top scorer alongside Alejo Velis, because Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you'll notice there, has only played 7 times this season and scored twice because he has spent most of the season. Unfortunately for us, he spent most of the season on the injured list. He damaged his cruciate ligament and spent 7 months out, which is not helpful. He'd just come back from a pulled hammy as well, and sprained knee ligaments, and a tight thigh. He's had every injury. He's very injury prone, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Because I don't watch the Premier League, I wasn't aware of this. I found out after I saw this that he's quite injury prone. It's not good. Anyway, assists-wise, James Rodriguez chipped in with 8 assists and 8 goals. Dwight McNeil, 9 goals, 8 assists as well. So we're not looking fantastic for attacking options, and it's kind of reflecting our average rating. Only 5 players got above a 7 for us. I don't know what, let's drag that way. Only those 5 players got a 7 for us. And only average rating, only one of them, Ernest Nuama, was starting regularly. Adama Traore didn't really break into the first team very well. And I'm now looking to move him on just to try and make some money. I've already arranged to move him on. He's joining Hoffenheim. So, first season, bit of a write-off, but let's do a transfer window and let's see where we come back, see what decisions get made in the next one. So, season 2, I start out with 25 million to spend, and I've made it work for me somehow. Some big sales though. James Rodriguez joins Monaco for 4.9 million. Seamus Coleman leaves for Altai in Saudi Arabia on a free. Samuel Umtiti has gone to Borussia Mönchengladbach for 4.4 million. Adama Traore joins Hoffenheim, as you saw, for 15 million. Inigo Martinez joins Köln for 5.5. Elianusi joins Fire for 3.8. Jesse Lingard to Hoffenheim for 1.5. Ivan Perisic 775k to Fiorentina. Al Qadsiya, who I think are another Saudi club. They are. Al Qadsiya bought Daniel Amate from me for 31 million. He cost me nothing. That's a really good return. Same with Benjamin Mendy, cost me nothing, 6.25 to Lille. Mackenzie Hunt didn't develop, so I sold him to Lincoln for £73,000. Davinson Sanchez joins Wolfsburg for 9.75 in the fine tradition of Omega Luke. Wolfsburg, my favourite German team. One day, maybe we'll put that together as a thing. Ernst Nuama has gone to Tottenham. He wanted to go. I couldn't. Once they put a bid in for him, I couldn't keep him. So we've sold him for 45 million. It's actually still a respectable return on him, to be quite honest with you, because we've doubled our money, and he's done well for Tottenham so far. So definitely nothing to be ashamed of. I don't think there was anyone big went out before the transfer window stopped. Oh, there was. There we go. I knew I'd sold some. My brain was telling me we'd sold some players. Matt Doherty joined Al Ain in Saudi Arabia for 2.3 million. James Tarkowski joins Leeds for 20 million. Jordi Alba joins Al Dahai for 1.1 million, and Roberto Gallardini joins Wolves for 17.5 million. Again, another massive profit that we've turned in just to help us out. So once that starts jumping around, we'll look at the players who have come in, and I've raided Manchester United. I won't be popular with Everton fans, but they finished above us in the table, so I raided them for players. And we started off with the Scottish Pele, Scott McTominay. £15 million I spent on Scott McTominay. He's still only 27. Feels like he's simultaneously sort of 19 and 57 at the same time. But he's a very good player. Lots of stamina, and hopefully will help us to achieve new heights this season. So he's come in the door, joined by his Manchester United teammates. I hate that it doesn't stay in place. Anthony Martial, 1.1 million, was a strong signing. Again, I just want more attacking options. He's more of a creator than a scorer, and some United fans would argue barely that. He's 28. He cost me 1.1 million. He was on the transfer list. I just had to do it. It's the only way. Donny van der Beek, 5.25 million. I think I can get something out of him. He's 27 as well. Able to play as an attacking midfielder, which is a thing we're going to use a lot this season. Hasn't necessarily set the world on fire since leaving Ajax. Has previously, of course, played for Everton. Had a brief spell on loan here a couple of seasons back, and didn't set the world on fire. But we've brought him back, and he's had one game so far. He's done all right. So I've got faith I can get something out of Donny van der Beek, as every manager that he's had at United has said about him. Fred also joins us to add to that holding midfield at 1.1 million. He's not set the world on fire in 6 years at United, but he is a good player. He's a solid player, and I think he just gives us a little bit of extra in that holding midfield role. Joining him in the club, though, we've also brought in Morgan Gibbs-White, gives us another attacking midfield option. It's going to be our number 10 in theory this season, and both literally. He's got a lot of room to develop. 24 years old. I like Morgan Gibbs-White in real life. I feel like he's always on the cusp of becoming a great player, and I'm hoping this is the year he does it. I think he can add a lot to this team. He really should add a lot to this team, if we're honest. Diego Lopez comes in as well from Valencia, 11.25 million for a winger. I keep buying wingers because I'm trying to find creativity, trying to find goals from the wings. He's 22 years old, joins us from Valencia, has previously played for both Barcelona and Real Madrid. So you know he has some potential there to be burned for us. Alex Valle has joined us from Barcelona for £7 million, a left back, 20 years old, bags of potential. One for the future, I feel like, has done his time at FC Andorra as well. So, you know, he's had the baptism of fire. One for the future, but one I think I can get something special out of. And likewise, we've got Alvaro Odriozola, 2.1 million from Real Madrid. He's 28, a right back. Still has something to give us, I think, and has a good pedigree. Has played for Sociedad, has played for Bayern, has played for Fiorentina, has played for Real Madrid. Knows his way around, 4 caps for Spain. Should add something to our right back position for the season, which is what we really need. I've brought in Mika Marmol from FC Andorra directly, 5.75 million for a centre half, 23 years old. I think this kid's got some potential. Plays for us, or has played for Barcelona as well, as is traditional for ex-FC Andorra players, I think. Or for FC Andorra players, I think they all come through Barcelona, and they come through Dam as well, to be honest. Tends to be a bit of a pipeline. Anyway, he's a good centre-half. He has cost us that 5.75 million. But again, I'm looking at return on investment and can he develop? And I think the answer is yes, and so do my coaches. So that will help us out immensely. We also run Cenk Oshakar. He's a centre-half, 23 years old, Turkish, 4 caps. Previously at Valencia and Lyon and Leuven and Altay, and I'm not trying to pronounce that ever. Right, but yeah, he's a good centre-half. A good young centre-half, 23. Still some potential, still going to be able to work for us. We'll see what we get from him, and we can kind of move forward now to seeing what we've brought in this side of the reset. I wish they'd sort this out. Anyway, we signed Filip Stankovic permanently, 375k, because why not? Kyrie Pierre was being released by Aston Villa. He's got some decent potential, so I thought we'd see what we could get out of him, and if not, we'll sell him for a profit. He's cost me nothing, so just another youngster to add to the project. McKenna from Morecambe, another youngster for the project. Ben Elliott from Chelsea is another youngster for the project. Arsene Sakarian joins us from Dynamo Moscow, a Russian international, 7 caps. Bit controversial signing a Russian, I realise, but there we go. That's life. It's Football Manager, not real life. He can play everywhere, though. He's a good, quality-looking player with hopefully some big potential to grow. I think he'll develop for us nicely. Brandon Williams joins us from Manchester United. Plays on both sides as a fullback. He's 24 years old. I don't know about him. He cost me nothing, so I brought him in just to try him out, see what he could do for me. His versatility will get him into the team occasionally for sure, and he's had time for Manchester United. He should be okay. Ryan Sessegnon. No, I tried to say Ryan. Ryan Sessegnon joins from Tottenham as a left back. He's cost me nothing. He's 24 still. And I always feel like he has a lot to offer. He's very quick. He's respectable as both a fullback and a winger. Gives us that versatility. Definitely a strong signing for our lineup. Eric Bailly was another player I rated Manchester United for on a free, because at one stage he looked like he'd be a quality player. When he was at Marseille, Villarreal and at Espanyol, he always looked like he was going to be a quality player. He's 30, but he's cost me nothing, and if I have to sell him, I'm going to make a massive profit. Honestly, that's been part of that thought process all along. Nemanja Maksimovic joins us on a free from Getafe, a Serbian international, 29, central midfielder. Good, not spectacular, but good. Adds depth to the squad. I'm quite happy with him as a signing too. Cameron Carter-Vickers joins us for 16 million from Celtic. Again, one of those players always feels like he'd be a really good Premier League centre-half. Just has, I mean, the guy's played for, he's 26 years old, and so far has played in his career for Celtic, for Spurs, for Bournemouth, for Luton, for Stoke, for Swansea, Ipswich, Sheffield United. Always feels like he's about to become something special and never quite does, and hopefully he'll do it for us this season. We do need him to be a strong centre-half, and hopefully he'll do that for us. That's a thing we need. Levi Colwill also joins us from from Chelsea for 21 million. I've got those two mixed up. I'm going to get murdered in the comments. Levi Colwill joins us, had a great season at Bournemouth last season. Really good young player, 21 years old, lots of room to develop. Will become a key figure in this side. I feel like Serdar Saci is another Turkish international centre-half, 21 years old, joins us from Braga. Has the pace, has the height, has the tackling, all the technicals look good. Should be able to develop him into a star as well. Jamie Bino Gittins, Englishman on loan from the Borussia Dortmund production line, has played a lot of games for Borussia Dortmund. Played one, scored one for us so far. 20 years old, great winger, and hopefully will again help us find an answer to our problems on the wing. Nicolas Dominguez joins us for free. Central midfielder from Bologna. He's 26, but has been capped for Argentina. Has a little bit of fight in him. That's what I want to see, and should help us to get some vital points this season. Ricardo Pepi joins us from PSV. Striker, still trying to solve the striker problem. 21-year-old American, 16 caps, 7 goals. Over the course of this guy's career, he scores almost a goal every other game. He's doing okay, and he's not been playing for bad clubs. He's been playing for PSV. He's been playing for Groningen and for Augsburg. He has shown goal-scoring ability. Hopefully we'll get some of that out of him this season. Aurelien Amenda joined us from Young Boys. He's another young centre-half, Swiss, 21 years old, 2 caps, signed for a reasonable price of 12 million, and I think, again, could be really good. We're just looking for that centre-half pairing to drive us forward for a little while. Tommy Setford joined us from Ajax, 2.5 million for an 18-year-old Dutch goalkeeper. Weirdly, I think he's English as well. He is. I'm sure I've seen him in an England squad, and I say before now. Of course, he's Charlie Setford's brother. Of course he's English. Duh. Yeah, he is a quality player, or quality potential player. He's just come in to hopefully long-term become our number one. Gabriel Stanina joins us from Chelsea to be our Second choice goalkeeper this season, Tenas has taken over from Pickford, who I sold last season. I show you? I sold Jordan Pickford because he wanted to go and Tenas was as good and cost me nothing. Schlanina, the American international 20-year-old goalkeeper, has come in and again looks like a solid prospect, so we're going to give him some time. Nathan joins us from Red Bull Brazil. £22 million for a 23-year-old centre-half from Brazil seems like a lot of money because Brazil doesn't traditionally produce great centre-halves, but this one looks like he could become one. He's a good Premier Division player already. I think he'll improve and become a bit of a cornerstone of the team. And finally, Archie Gray comes in from Leeds for £24 million, aged 18. We all know how much potential Archie Gray has. He's going to become a big star for us, so that's what we're going to try and do this season. Tactically, I've done some things as well. We're going to go with the custom tiki-taka, vertical tiki-taka, 4-2-3-1. I think this maybe has the potential to drive us forward. If we were to pick our best 11, it's going to put players in there who are out on loan because our AM is convinced, for whatever reason, that we've got our best players out on loan. I disagree. We may not be friends after this season, but you see, he thinks Nathan Patterson should be there. He's on international duty. Mason Holgate's out on loan. Mialenko currently international duty at this stage in the season. Then a bunch of players who are out on loan make the bench. Carter Vickers is travelling. Bio Gisson's international duty. Duarte and Tanganga also unavailable because they're on loan. But that's vaguely what I think our first 11 should be. I don't massively disagree. I'd like to get Archie Gray as much game time as I can. I'll try my best, and we'll see how that shakes out in terms of the games so far this season. If we get rid of all the non-competitive games, we can see here. Open with a win against Brentford, a 2-1 win. Got a 5-2 win against Wolves, a 4-3 win against West Ham. So defensively, we're not the best so far. Beat Brighton in the Carabao Cup 3-0. We've just lost 1-0 to Leeds. We leave things 5th in the Premier Division. So without any further ado, let's see where we're going to come back. So the end of Season 2, slow progress for sure. We've moved up to 11th in the table this year, so we are progressing. And you can see DCL has got himself 13 goals this year. We'll delve into the stats for players shortly. We can see there the final table, and we go into the competition screen and see how things shook out for us in the Cups. The EuroLeague was a friendly league I put together to warm the players up for the season. We haven't got to the FA Cup final yet again. I think it's being played today, actually, funnily enough. We went out. Where did we go out in the Cup this season? We went out to Nottingham Forest in the 5th round, 2-1. Not our best performance, but we did also go out in the 4th round to Liverpool. Again, we keep getting beaten by Liverpool in Cup competitions. That's not helping transfers-wise. I did do some business whilst we're out. We've got 50 million for next season, so that will help us out in this window, by the way. I did do some transfer business during the season just to fill some gaps. I always come back in January just to fill a few gaps where I can. And Adrian Pahasiti joined us for 900,000 from Fulham. I think he's got some. I thought from the scouting he had some potential. I was wrong. I was very wrong. He didn't work out. I think that's safe to say. Rooney Bargy, who I'm told is everyone's favourite FM player this year, he joined me for 9.75 million, I think. 9.25 million for FC Copenhagen. He's done pretty well for us this season since coming in. He's only 19 years old and could be quite the weapon for us for the rest of this save. We also have brought in Franco Gonzalez for 9.75 million from Arsenal. An attacking midfielder, 20 years old from Uruguay, with a lot of versatility, a lot to offer us on that score. Very much a developing player. He's a championship player. He's a wonder kid. But we'll see if he can develop for us into a top star. I think he probably can. I brought in another player alone from Chelsea to fill a gap this season as well. Kane Chukwuemeka, an Austrian 21-year-old. I just needed some more depth in the squad. And he didn't really give me anything else because he's not very good. Again, maybe don't sign him. Lex Jaycock joined us, though, from Woking for 375k. He's a regen, 17 years old. Massive potential. We do need a striker who can give us some massive potential. This might be the fella. One of my scouts brought him to my attention. I was like, Yep, we'll have a look at that. His mentals are already pretty good for a 17-year-old. His physicals are good and improving. And his technicals will get there with time, so we'll keep an eye on him for the future. Vicente Pizarro joins us next from New England. He's a Chilean international defensive midfielder, 22 years old, 16 caps and 5 goals for Chile. He joins us. He's again a youngster for the future, but for 8.5 million, I think a really good investment for us. So we will keep an eye on him as the save develops. Samuel Justo joins us from Sporting Lisbon. There we go, my brain worked out. Joins us from Sporting Lisbon, attacking midfielder, 21. You can see I'm starting to bring through the youngsters to bleed them into the side now. £9.5 million for a guy who's only played a couple of top flight games for Sporting, but we know they can produce the talent, and I think he's probably going to be one of those guys for us long term. Ryan Vandenberg joined us from Pek Zwolle at centre half. Again, he's 20 years old. He's got some potential. He cost me nothing, and we'll hope he can turn into a good centre half for us. We'll send him on loan for a little bit, and we'll hope he gets something going over the course of the next few seasons. And then I had that goal scoring issue again. Goals have been able to come by. So I brought in Danny Ings. Because why would you not? 32 years old, £135,000. He's just done Danny Ings things. Played one, scored one, didn't play again, but backup, depth, good stuff, Danny Ings. And Danny Welbeck came in on a free because Danny Welbeck was available on a free. And I figured at 34, we could do a lot worse. He made one appearance off the bench in both the League Cup and the Premier League and did nothing for us. So I've just been paying a lot of money to do next to nothing. In January, I did make some big sales, or even before January. Alex Kovacevic joined Portsmouth because he wasn't developing. Cameron Carter-Vickers goes to Saudi Arabia for £23.5 million. Anthony Martial went to Vigo for £4 million as well. And a bunch of players went out on loans. That paid money because I needed to bring some money in. Let's look at the stats, shall we? See how things have shaken out for us this season. So our biggest appearance maker, we'll get rid of the players who've been out on loan because that skews things slightly. Let's look at not at club. I don't want to do. Alright, our highest appearance maker, Arnau Tenas. He's been okay for us in goal, pretty solid this season. He has had 9 clean sheets, conceded 59, but that's actually pretty good for a mid-table team, so we'll allow it. Goals-wise, Dominic Calvert-Lewin had 13 goals this season, which is in fact a goal every 3 games. He's improving. Injury-wise, he stayed relatively injury-free this season. He's only had a few days out, since he's 7 months out previously. He's only really had, 3 or 4 weeks out injured, so that's worked out pretty well for him. He's got his 13 goals. He's got 7 assists. He's doing business for us. He's our top assist maker as well. Perhaps a slight concern. And average rating-wise, Danny Ings gets a pass there. Mika Marmot, the number of people in the 7 averages has gone down, but Rooney Bargi is one of them. So that's worked out okay for us. But let's go see what I can do with this transfer kitty we've been given. You can see, as I said, we have got 50.69 million, 100k in the wage budget. So let's zoom forward and see what I'm going to spend it on ahead of Season 3. So our third season transfers have been done. We have sold Danny Ings for 120k because why not? Ryan Sessegnon goes to Saudi Arabia for 14.25 million. Dwight McNeil joins West Ham for 50 million. It was a pain letting him go, but I had to do it. Scott McTominay joins Brentford for 13.25 million, which I believe is a small profit, not in fact, it was a small loss. It was not 6-1, half a dozen the other. He wasn't great for us last season. We'll let him go. Same with Donny van de Beek, joined Southampton for 4.7 million. Again, a slight loss, but he didn't play much for us, so we let him go. It was very, very simple. In terms of the pre-update ins, we brought in Abdul Koulibaly from Valencia, 18-year-old Kenyan international, £525,000 for a guy with potential for days, it's got to be said. He looks about 6 in that picture, but he is a regen, and he'll do hopefully quite well for us as things progress. Make sure I'm on the right screen because it always confuses me now. Right, Ricardo Solbes joins us from Roma for 7.5 million. An Argentine under 20 international striker. I'm still trying to solve the goal scoring problem, is why this guy's coming. He had 6 goals in 19 games in the Championship last year. It's about a goal every 3, but he is 19 and he should develop into something we can use for, well, the next couple of years, you would hope. For sure. Callum Doyle joined us from Manchester City for £16 million. He has good potential as a centre-half. Looks just generally good. Had spent last season on loan, I said 17.25 million on loan. Spent season on loan at Southampton last year, but has played for Manchester City and, you know, has certainly been on the fringe of their first team. Still has some potential left. I'm trying to bring the average age of this team down. I think I'm doing a pretty good job of it, but I'm trying to bring the average age of this team down as much as I can. Leandro Morgaya joins us from Red Bull Salzburg. He's 21 years old, a centre-half / right-back. Again, joins on the cheap for £11 million. Had a good season in Austria last year. Under 19 caps for Germany and still improving. Will get there as a Premier League player. I am almost certain of it. Nicolo Zaniolo joins us on a transfer from Galatasaray for £21 million. They're signing from Galatasaray, but he's been beastly in the Super League, and so far this season, pretty special for us. Attacking midfielder and a striker, gives a lot of options to be able to make him into a goal scorer. He's good as a winger and as an inside forward, which is very, very useful to us. Brings some determination to the team as well, which will help our overall kind of personality for the youngsters coming through. Very, very happy with Nicolo Zaniolo as a signing. I also brought in Oscar Gluck from Red Bull Salzburg. Should have signed him first season when he went cheap because he was signed by Red Bull Salzburg for £6 million. I've just paid 35.5 for him. He's still only 21, 28 caps for Israel. Another controversial signing. That's fine. Good determination, good all round for a 21-year-old, and with lots of room to grow. I think it says close to full potential, but I'd be very surprised if a 21-year-old had reached his full potential, because not every player is Michael Owen. Looking at post the update, we've been on big sales mode post mid-season update. Ben Godfrey goes to Leeds for £9 million. Alvaro Odriozola joins Colne for £22.5 million. Fred joins Real Espales, who I think are Betis, £3.6 million. Nicolas Dominguez goes to Saudi Arabia for £13.5 million. Nemanja Maksimovic also to Saudi Arabia, £23 million. Vitaly Mialenko, £19.5 million to Leeds. Mikael Marmol joins Bayer Leverkusen, £7.75 million. Sheikh Oshakar joins Al Tawoun, who I think are also Saudi. They are also Saudi for £12.5 million. Eric Bailly joins Al Tawoun for £3.1 million. Kyrie Pierre, the youngster we signed, we thought we'd develop, £140,000 took him to Swansea. Brandon Williams has also gone to Riyadh for free. Martin Vaillant has joined Al Fayr in Saudi for £3.9 million. Arsene Zakarian joins Wolfsburg for £11 million. Alejo Feliz joins Norwich for £15.25 million. Interesting one, this one, because he was so good for us that first season. I sent him on loan to Burnley where he was good. He came back and he was bitching that he wasn't playing first team football for us. And I was like, if you're going to be like that, goodbye, double your money, and everyone's happy. We've sent Mason Holgate on loan again because no one would buy him. Martin Sharif has joined Blackburn for $325k. Abdoulaye Doucouré joins Colne for $5.75. Jafet Tanganga goes to Saudi for $1.9. Dogan Almdar joins Preston for $1.1. He just didn't really work out for us, to be honest. I thought he'd develop. He didn't. John Solis is out on loan. Claudio Echeverri is a player we brought in this season, goes out on loan. I'll talk about him when I go through the ins. Arnaud Tenas has joined Chelsea. Our first choice goalkeeper joins Chelsea. $39.5 million, but we signed him on a free, so I'm not unhappy with that as a piece of business. I know people will be screaming, but I'm not unhappy with that. On the ins though, Jeremias Ledeshma joined us from Cadiz to be our replacement goalkeeper. For now, our replacement goalkeeper, I should say. He came in just to fill that gap. I saw that that Tenas was going, and I panicked. And I brought in Jeremiah Ledesma because we know he's a very good goalkeeper. So we brought him in. Tommaso Baldanzi comes in as an attacking midfielder. Joins from Empoli for £35 million. He's only 22, 4 caps and a goal for Italy. Feel like he's got a lot to offer. The attributes are ridiculous. So hopefully he'll prove to be a very good signing. Faustino Angerin joins us on a free because he sometimes turns out to be good on FM, and sometimes turns out to be bad, and he costs us nothing. He's 23, 5 caps for Nigeria already. Probably we're going to get the bad version of him, but we'll see how it goes. He's got a high value. Joshua Zirkzee joins us from Bologna because I wanted another striker. He's allegedly a better striker than Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's 24 years old, hasn't played for the Netherlands yet, but has played for Bologna, 31 goals in 87 games, which is definitely more than a goal every 3 games. I can do that math. Goal every 3 games for Bayern, goal every other game almost for Anderlecht as well. He's done okay. He's had a good career. His career average is a goal every 3.5 games, which should work out okay. Should give us an option of having maybe a goal scorer. I know, say it quietly. Maybe a goal scorer. Who knows? Milos Kerkez joins us for £27 million from Alkmaar. He is going to be our new left back, or one of our new left backs. He's just very good. He's very good all around. He's still only 21. Hungarian, 32 caps. He'll do well for us, but also joining on the left. The most money I've ever spent on a left back. Aaron Hickey joins us from Brentford for £69 million. Nice. He's 23 years old, Scottish international, of course, and has played for Bologna in Italy, and that's impressive to me. So he's come in to be that left back alongside Kirkish. They'll trade that back and forth, I'm pretty sure, most of the season. But I feel like he's got star potential, so he has come in. I'm quite happy with him. Spike Britt joins us from Manchester City. He's an 18-year-old goalkeeper. One to develop, for sure. He's cost us $6.75 million, so he better bloody develop, because otherwise I'm going to look really stupid. I just want a long-term goalkeeper project, essentially. Claudio Echeverria, eventually he's gone out on loan to Watford. He joined us from River Plate. He is an attacking midfielder, 19 years old. Not quite ready for first-team football yet, but we paid $7.25 for him. He's already worth up to £50 million. And he looks good, so hopefully he'll become good. Sergio Arribas joins us from Real Madrid on a loan, costing us nothing on loan. Well, just his wages, but he's not costing us a fee. Another attacking midfield option, 23 years old, has the pace, has the potential. I want to take a long-term look at him to see if maybe we bring him in. I also brought him in because he's very, very good at free kick taking, and I've realised 3 seasons in I didn't have a competent free kick taker anywhere in the squad, or a competent corner taker, and I thought maybe we should bring someone in who's actually good at set pieces to see if it increases our goal output. I know, smart. Anyway, we'll see how that works out. Marco Verratti has also joined us from PSG on loan, 32 years old now in game, 73 caps for Italy. We all know how good Marco Verratti is for PSG and previously, of course, for Pescara. He's just good all round, a good player to have in to help mentor the youngsters mostly. But we'll get some football for us, I'm sure, and just gives us another option at holding midfield. I've also brought in Jordan Bayer on loan from Juventus as a centre-half. Again, mostly take a look at him, but he should be good enough for our first team. We'll see how he goes. Previously of Burnley, of Hoffenheim, of Mönchengladbach, and of Hamburg, and of Dusseldorf, so has been around. He may actually even play for Burnley in real life. He does play for Burnley in real life. There's a thing we learned together. Anyway, that was our signings for the season. We'll look at the tactics. I already dumped some players in there, I'm sure, so we'll take them out and I'll properly show you what we're doing. In fact, we can do it with the players in. Why not? I've switched to a control possession asymmetrical 4-2-3-1. There's a logic to this. Stay with me. I've got 2 inside forwards because I think Zaniolo and Bargi are going to score goals from the wing. I think Baldanzi will score goals from deep, and I think Calvert-Lewin's best contribution to the first team is actually as a creator, the guy who can hold up the ball and lay it off people coming through. That's why he's doing that. We've got James Garner playing as the shuttler, the carriero in central midfielder. I just wanted to be able to sort of make these little movements here, just fill in the gap essentially for us. We've got Vicente Pizarro playing as a halfback, so when we're in possession, he will actually drop out of midfield. Hickey and Patterson will push up to cover the wings. We'll have a 3 at the back system going on there. And did I mention Guillaume Restes? I don't think I mentioned Guillaume Restes had come into you. Did I mention him? Guillaume Restes came as a centre-half. I think he's bloody brilliant. He's our new first-choice keeper. He's 20 years old, and he's bloody brilliant. He cost me the princely sum of $35.5 million from Toulouse, and I think we're going to get our money back on him, or get our money's worth out of him, either or. Anyway, we've built a really good side now, I think, going forward. How did I mention Alistair Johnston coming as well? Canadian international, signed from Celtic, 24 minutes. I've signed so many players over the course of this save, I'm losing track of who's come in and who hasn't, even with a list in front of me. It's been mad. I'm sure I mentioned Diego Lopez coming in there. It's fine. If I'll make the save game available to you guys so you can have a proper look through and see who all these players are properly. Let's see what the pre-season preview looks like. The table so far, we're sitting in 4th, 7 points after 3 games. Schedule-wise, we have beaten Palace 2-1 on the opening day, drawn 2-2 with United. Zaniolo scoring in both those games. We've beaten Leeds 2-1 in the League Cup, and we've won against Southampton with a goal from Rooney Bargi. And to look at, as I throw forward, the pointer. My brain is so addled today. Right, our season preview says we should finish 9th, so they think we've improved from last season. The board still want mid-table. They're just happy to be here, really. They just want mid-table. So, let's go see what we can give them. So, eagle-eyed viewers will have noted that we finished the season in 4th place in the table. Things are finally coming together for us, big style. That's what we need. We've also won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. We've done a double, boys. If you're an Everton fan, would you take that? Tell me in the comments. If you're an Everton fan watching this, 3 years from now, 2026, as the world's loudest police car goes past, because this must be criminal, Champions League qualification, the Champions League qualification, the League Cup and the FA Cup, all in one season. Would you, as an Everton fan, take that because I should have gone through this at the start of it, for context for those who are not Everton fans, which I'm sure there's 1 or 2 non-Everton fans watching this, we should explain that if we look at the history of the club, it has been 12 years in game at this point since they finished in the top 6. A long time since, it's even been 7 years at this stage since top half football was consistently possible. The league hasn't been won. I mean, this is our highest league finish since 1988, which, for those of you doing maths at home, is 38 years in game since the club last finished in... Oh, no, wait, I found another one. 2005. Okay, it's not as bad. 15... Hang on, math. 21. I can do math. I'm smart. 21 years since Everton have finished in the top 4. It's been some time. And in terms of other honours, I mean, as I said, the last League Cup was never, and the last FA Cup was 1995, which still stands as the last trophy Everton won in real life, if you don't count under 18 Community Shield-y type nonsense. I think we've delivered something pretty special. So if we're already 3 seasons in, we can still see how things are going. In terms of the budget for this summer, we have £55 million to spend. Financially, by the way, the club is just in trouble. There's no way of saving the club's finances. There's just no way of saving it. So if you want to take over the save when I'm done with it, good luck fixing that. You can probably sell most of the team you'll end up with. I'm buying youngsters mostly and have a fighting chance of keeping going. In terms of what we have done since the last transfer window. I brought in Petar Musa from Arsenal for 17.75 million. Another young striker, let's say young, 28-year-old Croatian striker who is not an attractive man. I'll be honest, not an attractive fella. 17.75 million. Arsenal paid 18.75 million the season before. He didn't play the 13 games for us and done nothing. I couldn't even tell you why I signed him. I was just desperate for a striker. I think I convinced myself one more striker would put us over the line. I also brought in Stephen Finn from Doncaster for 550k. He is just a very high potential young attacking midfielder that I thought should be playing for us rather than someone else. So he is. I did make some sales, of course, in January as well. James Garner joined Newcastle for 52 million, and Diego Lopez has gone on loan to Fiorentina. Rav Vandenberg and Anderson Duarte leave to Hull and Blackburn, respectively. And the stats, the scores and the doors that you've all come for, well, let's have a little look. We're going to have to go to Not at Club because there is an international tournament happening right now. Appearances-wise, Baldanzi and Calvert-Lewin are our big appearance makers. Goal scorers, so you'll notice double figures goal scorers, 4 of them. That's 4 double-figure goal scorers. You can count them yourself. Rennie Bargi gets 18, Calvert-Lewin gets 14, Zaniolo gets 12, and Baldanzi gets 11. On the assist side, well, Johnston gets 8 from fullback. Baldanzi gets them from attacking midfield. Verratti has had a few assists, so 8 assists apiece for those 4, including Calvert-Lewin. Rooney Bargi's chipped in 6. Aaron Hickey has chipped in 6 from left back. And even Oscar Gluck, who's been mostly coming off the bench, has picked up 5. Average rating wise, it's a much better season for us. We can see here, I'm going to let the game count them for me. It won't do it because for some reason it does this to me. It won't let me select players and then right click. Do your own math. I think that's 10. It is 10. 10 players with a 7 rating, one with a 6.99. The best of them has been Jeremias Ledesma, but of course Restes has played more games, been more consistent, so he has been getting the flowers. Alistair Johnson's doing well with a 7.17. Verratti's done well for a 33-year-old now. A lot of players doing very well on the average rating side. So we have got something to build on. We've had a good season. We've got ourselves to 4th in the table. Let's do a transfer window, see what we can do to build for next season. So we've done some big spending and some big selling. We have sold Nathan Patterson to Bournemouth for £33 million. I know selling a 22-year-old right back feels like a mistake, and it might be, but I wanted to bring in the money, try and balance the books a little bit better. I brought in Alfred Miravent from Espanyol, who is an everywhere fullback, but he's 18 years old. He's played 36 first-team games in La Liga already, and he's 18 years old with a lot of potential. I think that's a good trade financially. Looking forward, let's look at the rest of the players we've sold this summer, or we'll talk through the big ones at least. Adrian Pajahiti has gone to Abha, whoever Abha are. I don't even know what league Abha playing, but in fact they're another Saudi club. We took a loss on him, but he was rubbish, so I was just happy to get rid of him. To be honest, a lot of players out on loan. Diego Lopez goes to Saudi for 6.75 million. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been sold to Roma for 23 million because I felt like I could find someone who'd contribute more, and he's 29, so I've been on a hunt for someone who will contribute more. We'll see how that goes. That might come and bite me. Sergio Cameo joins Al Hilal for £53 million, which, you know, I appreciate. I am selling all of the strikers. But he only had 2 goals in 4 games. 14 goals in 29. Why can I not do this in English anymore? Let's try this again in English. I sold him for £11 million. I sent him on loan to Wolves. And then I sent him on loan to Sevilla, and he didn't really come back looking like playing for us. So I sold him, and I made a big profit. That's what you need to know. There we go. We did that. English together. Good stuff. I don't know why I cannot English today. Let's carry on with the players out. Buonanotte has gone out on loan to Sheffield United. Brian Gruder has gone on loan to Luton. Amadou Onana has gone to Al Ittihad for 42 million. Another player gone to Saudi. Mason Holgate, I still can't bloody sell him, so he's still getting on a loan place. Gone to Atletico Pamplona this time, I think at Osasuna? I don't know. Shanina has joined Fulham for 6.5 million. Joshua Xerxes has gone to Al Ittihad for 8.25 million. Yes, if you're counting the strikers out, you are counting strikers leaving heavily. Rav Vandenberg joins Stuttgart for 625k. Ax Fire joins Vigo for 2.5 million. Coming in though, Cosmin Stan joins us from the fake. Is this the fake Stoy Bucharest or the real one? I think this is the fake Stoy Bucharest. £2.9 million for an 18-year-old Romanian international striker with potential to be very, very good. I like him a lot as a potential striker. He's got that finishing. He's more of an advanced forward than the deep-lying striker we've been using, but we'll see how it goes. I think he's got what we need. Sergio Arribas joins us permanently from Real Madrid for £27 million. Jordan Bayer joins us permanently from Juventus for £19 million. Jesper Karlsson joins us from AZ Alkmaar, a winger, costs us nothing. 28 years old, 33 caps for Sweden, and I don't know why, whenever I record on a Sunday, the police always just come out for it. I hadn't had a police car all day until I hit record today. Weird. Anyway, he's okay. He's done well for Sweden. He's going to do well for us. He comes for nothing, and I think he'll do very well for us. Davide Fratesi joins us from Sassuolo on a free as well. He is just 26 years old, a good attacking midfielder, decent record for Sassuolo, so we'll see what he can do for us. I just like that he's a good, solid, creative player that I think will achieve big things for us. I think he's a good option for us. 10 caps for Italy already. He looks very, very good. The answer to our striking problems is Romelu Lukaku, because I'm going back to the well. He's 33 years old. He's 140 caps and 112 goals for Belgium. He's not been scoring goals recently for Chelsea. I say he's not been. He's had a goal every 3 games for Chelsea last season. A goal every game and a half the season before, and better than that this season. He's declining, but Chelsea released him. Waste not, want not. I'll take him. He had a great record for Everton before. He is a club favourite. He knows the club, and he is generally very good. As we all know, Romelu Lukaku will be a vital cog in this machine for at least this season. I'm hoping he'll be a stopgap, but we'll see how that goes. Thierry Reinders also joins us on a free, having been released by Al Ali in Saudi Arabia. 28-year-old Dutch international, 16 caps, good in midfield, good all round really. Great vision, great passing, should create some stuff for us, should be a real star for us. We'll see how that goes. Tiago Tomas joins us from Sporting Club de Portugal for, was that 35 million? I know what I'm doing. 35 million, a striker. Very quick, good pressing forward. He's the natural replacement, I think, for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He is a goal every 4 game kind of player according to his record at Sporting, and worse according to his record at Stuttgart, but he's had 3 goals in 3 games for us since signing. I think the system we're running works well for us. Takura Keita joins us from Rennes for loan, 18 years old. He'll play, he's a right back, he'll play occasionally this season, but I just want to have a look at him before I decide if I'm going to sign him permanently. That was the thinking with him. Likewise, Federico Souza from Morense is a goalkeeper. He's going to be sort of 4th choice, but I just want to see what his potential really looks like before I commit to signing him. So we'll see how he looks when we get through the season. We have brought in James McAtee from Manchester City, of course on loan at Sheffield United in real life. I've had him before on a save. I can't remember which save, but I've had him before on a save on a previous episode. It was one on the channel as well, which is really good. I think it was Sunderland I had James McAtee at. Someone in the comments will let me know where I had James McAtee. And I remember him being really, really good, and he was available on a free, so I thought I'd take a punt and see what we could get out of him. It may come to nothing. We'll see. I brought in Kieran Trippier for £625,000 because even though he's 35 years old, he's still a decent right back. Adds some experience and gives us a homegrown player for Europe, which was a key feature of what I was trying to get into the squad this season. His His physicals have gone to hell, but his mentals and his technicals are still there. So he should have something to contribute for us this season, but he's very much come in as a backup. Casey McAteer joins for 1.2 million from Leicester. I've boldly assumed he is the son of Jason McAteer, but I didn't really look, and it doesn't say because Jason McAteer is not in the game. Let's assume he's the son of Jason McAteer. Why not? This guy can play everywhere. He's 24 years old. He's bloody ridiculous. And he's got potential, I think. I mean, he's good all round. He's good enough to be a guy you keep on the bench to do a job for you wherever you have to dump him. Essentially, the coaches don't think he's got it, but I do, and I'm in charge. So that's how that goes. Joachim Lien Haug comes in next, a Norwegian 18-year-old striker, 575k from Bolton. They think championship level player. I think they're either right or wrong, but there's going to be a profit in it for us. So we'll see how Joachim Lien Haug goes for us. Bradley De Jesus joins us from Fulham for 350k. Again, I'm just stockpiling youngsters. He can play everywhere. Has championship level potential apparently, but he's 20 years old, has caps for Portugal's under-20s. He's been playing for HNK Gorica, which I believe is in Croatia, last season. It didn't go well, but my scouts sort of liked him, so I thought we'd give him a go, and he didn't cost the earth, so we'll try him out. Alfie Harrison joins us from Manchester City for 625k. He's a midfielder. Again, we're looking at potential to grow here. He could become a Premier League player. If he doesn't, he doesn't, but we tried our best, and we'll see what he becomes. He's only 20, has all the time in the world, and really itchy nose. I don't know why. It looks like I've got a coke problem on camera, I'm sure. I've just got a really itchy nose. I don't know why. Patrick Bamford has joined us on a free, because Patrick Bamford, just doing Patrick. I just want an extra striker in the squad, because I was worried I didn't have enough, and I didn't have enough that qualified as English or as homegrown for Europe, so I panicked maybe a touch. Patrick Bamford's come in. He's barely scored in the last few years, and he's probably not going to score for us, but Patrick Bamford, will probably do what he's done at Leeds and drag us down and make the team worse. I said it. It's true. Jeremy Malga is an 18-year-old who joins us from QRM for 350k. Attacking midfielder, left winger, central midfielder with some potential, but again, probably just a quick turnaround, quick profit kind of player. We'll see how that goes. Let's have a little look at our prediction for the season. We're currently sitting in 4th in the Premier League, and the experts, the pundits, say that we should finish 7th, which is an odd prediction given that we finished 4th last year and are in the Champions League. Our board are saying that they would like us to reach the Champions League proper, record a top half finish. They've shown a little bit of ambition this time, and be competitive in the cups that we won last season, which I feel is a lack of ambition, I'll be honest. In terms of, let's get rid of the friendlies again, in terms of what we've played so far, we lost to Liverpool 5-0 in the Community Shield, but it's the Community Shield and I stuck the kids out because no one cares. We lost in the opening day to Manchester United 5-2. We've still got some defensive problems apparently, but Zaniolo got 2. Oscar Gluck got 1, and Natan got 1, and a 2-0 win over Norwich. A 5-0 win over Brighton, followed with a hat-trick from Thiago Tomas. And then we got a 3-1 win in the Premier Division over Brentford, with Zaniolo and Baldanzi scoring. And then Bolton, we beat them 3-1 in the Carabao Cup, with Nonto getting a brace and Ashley Phillips scoring. So, let's, quick as a flash, go to the end of the season and see how things are going to shake out for us. So, end of season 4, the bank balance is looking better than it was, but everything else is not. We finished 6th in the Premier League this season. It's not what we've qualified for the Europa League, which is nice, but it's not gone brilliantly. Let's look at the competitions. We'll see how things have gone for us. So, Champions League, knocked out in the round of 16 by Real Madrid. FA Cup, knocked out in the 5th round by City. Carabao Cup, knocked out in the quarter-final by Villa. And runners-up in the Community Shield. So, all in all, not spectacular, but we'll accept it for what it is. Let's have a look and see what we can do for what we've done in terms of results in the Champions League. In fact, let's look at what we're doing in results in the Champions League first and foremost. In fact, John, there's a better way of doing that. Let me do some magic. Okay, so Champions League-wise, group stage, we beat Brugge, beat Ajax, drew with Barcelona, lost to Roma, beat Galatasaray, which I guess is still league phase, drew with Copenhagen, lost to Manchester City, and then we beat Eintracht Frankfurt. Bilbao was a tough fight for us. We got past them in the knockout rounds, and then the round of 16 we just got destroyed by Real Madrid. The other thing we should look at actually competition-wise, Premier League. We haven't done this so far in this rebuild. Oh boy, we should do. We've had no one in any of the top of the charts things, which is a small concern. Let's see how I spent money in January, though, and how things have shaken out for the season. I actually didn't spend money in January. I thought I had spent money in January this season. I didn't spend money in January. I took it easy. I kept faith in the youngsters. Didn't sell anyone particularly. I sold Jeremias Ledesma because he was dropping down the pecking order. Got 5.75 million for him, and honestly, I don't regret it because we've done well. Looking at the, I said we've done well, did worse than last year. Looking at the stats for the season, Restes played 55 games this season. He must be shattered. Goals wise, we've had 23 from Romelu Lukaku. The boy's still got it. That's a goal every other game, just about. Peter Musa, he's been on loan this season, so we'll get rid of the players who are not at the club. That's a good idea. Not at the club. Let's do it on loan or on trial, because otherwise it gets rid of one who's got international duty. Zaniolo had 15, Baldanzi had 12, and Bargi had 11 in terms of assists, leading the way Zaniolo and Bargi. Tiani Reinders got in there as well. And Alistair Johnson also contributing good assists. So is Jesper Karlsson, Aaron Hickey, Baldanzi. Fratese's doing well as well. Lukaku's even picking up assists. Less 7 average ratings this year, half the number, in fact 5. But our best player over the course of the season has been Davide Fratesi. Milos Kerkez also level with him on 7.09. But less games started because he's been rotating with Hickey. So that's explained that. So let's see what our budget is for this season. And let's see, before we go into the last season, we've got 1.49 million to spend. But I have done a lot of business early for this season, so that will explain it. If we take off the inactive deals, I've done some business early. We'll talk about it in a minute once I've completed a transfer window, because players will move in, will move out, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so let's talk ins and outs for this window. One in before the update, and that was Castillo Luqueba, 69 million, still nice. Better known as Castillo Jr., French, 17 caps. 24 years old, joined us from Olympique Lyonnais, centre-half, big boy centre-half, what we need. He's got the passing, the tackling, the strength, the pace. This is the boy we've been looking for, and he will come in, he will do very well for us this season, I have absolutely no doubt. Before the update, we sold a bunch of players, got our business done early to get that 69 million. You saw we only have 1.9. We did get a few more funds made available to us through some jiggery-pokery funny dobly. Weird. James McAtee joins Al Ain for 10 million. Casey McAtee joins Stoke for 3 million. I loaned out Gonzalez and Cosmin Stan to Southampton to bring some cash in to the bank. In terms of the rest of the big outs, Samuel Justo never developed, so 4.8 million comes in for him. Tom Cannon goes to Osasuna, 1.2 million. Wilfred Nonto has done nothing. Honestly, nothing for us since we've signed him. 10 goals in 64 games. He was never particularly impressive at all. His average ratings have been utter crap, to be honest. And I don't know why, but he's been rubbish, so I sold him to Saudi Arabia for 22 million. He's 23 years old. His career's over. Goodbye, Wilfred Nonto. Tommy Setford joins Wolves for 6.5 million, which turned out to be good business for us. We sent him on loan a couple of years, and he didn't turn into a worldie, so I sold him and got money for him, and I'll take it. Morgan Gibbs-White goes to Al Ahly in Saudi Arabia. He again had a good first season for us, then just kind of was a bit player for us, so he's gone to Saudi for 26 million. Again, tiny profit, but tiny profits all add up. I've sent Lex Jacob on loan to Leeds. He's developing quite nicely. Very slowly, but quite nicely. Has had a season in loan in the Championship, 10 goals in 48. good stuff. 2 in 5 so far in the Championship. He is becoming a good player for us. Jordan Bayer only lasted a very short amount of time with us as a full-time player, a whole season before I sold him for nearly double my money to Saudi Arabia, because Saudis like to give me money and I like to take money. Stan Mills joins Middlesbrough as well. He came through our youth team, didn't really develop. 750k. He's never going to be a Premier League player, despite the fact he can play almost anywhere on the pitch. Jeremy Malga, another youngster, 500k to Stoke. Leandro Morgala joined Al Qadsia in Saudi for a big fee of 20 million. We've made a 9 million profit on him for the sake of sending him on loan for a year after he didn't really break into our first team. It was a bit disappointing, but he's done okay to get himself some money for us, or get us some money for him. That's what I meant. Ariel Almenda, remember him? A Swiss international, 24 years old. He's been a story. So I paid 12 million for him. He didn't break into the first team, so I loaned him out for a year to Villa in the Premier League, where he was rubbish. I loaned him out to Fulham for 800k last season. He was marginally better. I've sold him to Middlesbrough now for 9.25k. He's 24 years old. I'm not going to keep a spot in my squad for him. So, goodbye and good luck. Anderson Duarte has joined Wolves for 9 million. A good profit for us after a good few seasons on loan in the Championship. He's played well, but hasn't developed into anything that would resemble a first-team player for us. May be a first-team player for Wolves. We'll see how that goes for him. We may come up against him at some stage. Bradley De Jesus has joined MRT, wherever MRT is. I'm guessing in Portugal. Again, I paid 350 for him. I sold him for 325. He turned out to be completely useless. So, he's gone. Sedar Sarchi has joined Al Qadsia as well in Saudi. He's done okay for us. He's lost us a lot of money. He was rubbish. Genuinely rubbish. 6.75k was all I could get for him. I just wanted him gone. He's 24 years old. He's barely played, and he's been crap. So we've let him go. Goodbye to him. Jared Branthwaite, it was fantastic with Jared Branthwaite on as well. He's 25 years old now. He's been with us this entire time, but he's been out on loan a lot. The story of Jared Branthwaite is quite a mixed one. So I used him a little bit in that first season. He wasn't great, but he showed sparks. I thought, send him to the Championship for a year, and he'll do well. And I did, and he did well. I sent him to the Premier League for a year because he wasn't going to play, and he did well. And I thought, Joe, we'll bring him back in for a season, see if he breaks into the first team. Didn't. So I loaned out to Spurs, where he did play, which shows we've overtaken Spurs. And now Brighton have offered me 9.25 million for a guy who cost us nothing years ago, nearly a decade ago. So goodbye to him. We tried. We really did try, but he just didn't come on as a defender for us. So it was time for him to go. Mason Holgate is finally gone. £8.75 million to Bournemouth. And we only paid 1.7 for him way back in the day. The fact that you can see there, it's taken me 5 seasons, 5 transfer windows to get rid of him. And actually I've made more than we paid for him on every loan out I've sent him on, except those 2, which it worked out anyway. Essentially, I don't like Mason Holgate. He's not very good. I don't think he's very good in real life. He's definitely not very good on the game. So finally he's gone. Peter Musa, the experiment has ended because I can't look at that face. Someone should cover that face up. I'm so mean saying that, but it's true. Sorry. Really sorry if you watch this. I'm sure you're a lovely man. He did nothing for us. I sent him on loan last season, and he did well in Spain, and I just thought, if Brentford are dumb enough to buy him for me for a profit, bye. So that's where he's gone. I'll never have to say mean things about him again. Callum Doyle has joined Brighton on loan for the season for money. Jesper Karlsson joins Norwich for 27.5 million. It's a great profit. He played well for us last season, but he's 29 years old, and as we all know, in FM years that may as well be 100. So off he goes. Bye bye. Oscar Gluck has gone on loan to Bayer Leverkusen, and Tiani Reinders is the next big out. 52 million to Chelsea. It says 42. There's add-ons in there, but he cost me nothing. and he's 29 and profit. So we've profited. In terms of who's coming though, that's the big headlines. Hisham Budai, 27-year-old Algerian, comes in for nothing from Nice. He's going to be a holding midfielder. He's a good holding midfielder, actually. He'll be in the squad, in around the squad most of the season. So I think he's a good signing, especially for nothing. He's very, very solid all round. So I'm quite happy with him as a signing. Xavi Simons joins us, or I think Simons joins us from PSV for free. 55 caps for a 24-year-old Dutch international. 48 goals in 131 games for PSV Eindhoven, having previously played for PSG and Barcelona. He is world class, 5-star, current ability, cost me nothing. Beautiful signing, great signing. Everything is exactly where I want it to be. I mean, he's only got a handful of things that aren't in colours in his attributes. Crazy, crazy stuff. He is a hell of a signing. I'm really glad I brought him in, and gives us another player who can use a dead ball, which is nice. Aziz Bastanci also came in from Fenerbahce, another Turkish centre-half experiment. 19 years old, 12 caps already. That's how you know he's better than those we had before. He's also already classed as world-class at 19. Yes, he's cost us 24.5 million, but he's 19 and world-class already, and probably going to stay there. We've made a big move here, and he's just a player. He's a good player all around. Jordan Teze also joined us from PSV for £64 million. Right back primarily, 27 years old, 3 caps for the Netherlands. He's not a goal scorer per se. He's not even much of a creator, but he's shown some really good consistency over the last few seasons, and I felt like that was something we were missing at right back. So I've brought that in just to help us out. He looks very determined. We like to see that. Good signing, I think, Jordan Teze. We've brought in Geralt Edwards from Cardiff for £12.75 million. He's a striker, 18 years old, 3 goals in 5 games for Wales so far in his career. That's impressive enough on its own for me to spend £12.75 million on that. I've sent him on loan to Cardiff for the year, so he's not even going to help us out in this last season of the rebuild. Maybe a little treat for you to come back to if you want to take over this save at the end. Kyle Walker-Peters has come to us on loan from Newcastle on a £4 million loan fee, 30 years old already. Only ever had 2 caps for England, but I just wanted some extra strength in depth for the European campaign. And I think Kyle Walker-Peters has something to help us out with that. So that's what we're trying to achieve with him, and he's still decent. He's still decent for a 30-year-old. We'll see how it goes. Jack Grealish has joined us. Jack Grealish. I always think it should be Grealish. I know it's Grealish. It drives me mad. Anyway, Jack Grealish joins us on loan from Real Madrid at the age of 31. Again, to provide a bit of creativity in there, he's had an interesting career. Really had some good times at City. Went on loan to Real Madrid and did well. They paid 50 million for him. He kept doing well. Played 1 game, got 2 goals from this season. They were willing to loan him out, and I was like, if you're willing to loan him to me, I'm willing to take him. He has won the Champions League last season. He's a solid player still, and will help us out immensely in midfield. Good signing, very happy with him. And the last signing alone was Tete from Bayern, a right winger who looks very, very good, the Brazilian. No caps so far. Has played for Bayern, for Porto, for Shakhtar, Leicester, Lyon and Grêmio. He looks really good, and I can't believe they're willing to loan him to me for nothing. So, happy days is what we're saying. Happy days. Anyway, let's look at what we're being predicted for the season. Let's see what we can achieve. We're already sitting 7th in the table after 4 games. A slow start for us. We've had much better starts. The board want a top half finish. The media are saying 6th will be where we finish, and we're in the Europa League. So far this season, we've started with a 2-2 draw against Leicester, lost 3-0 in the Merseyside derby at home. Precarious. Bloody police officers again. I told you, only when I record do they go past. Fulham, we beat them 3-1. Brighton, we beat them 4-2. We've beaten Fulham again in the League Cup 1-0 with a slightly rotated side. So things look good, and our group in the Europa League is Basel, Pogon, Anderlecht, Arsenal, Karabag, AZ, and Mönchengladbach. So a toughish group. We've also got Copenhagen and Sporting in our group stage game. So it's a tough challenge, but we'll see how things shake out for us. The club vision, by the way, we're doing very well on it there. They're happy enough. They still just want a top half finish, later stage of the Europa League, later stage of the FA Cup, and to be competitive in the Carabao Cup, which we're already doing. So this is our last season of the rebuild. Let's see what we can do, shall we? I want to go out with a bang. Champions League at minimum, but we still haven't won a title. Can we win one this year? Can we win a European trophy this year? Can we bring some trophies home? Let's find out. Well, we have not won the league. We've finished 5th in the league this season, which I maintain, for Everton's recent history, is still very good. And if we look at their recent history now, we've gone through 5 years, I would say that is still pretty respectable, grand scheme of things. I mean, when we took over, they hadn't finished in the top 5 for years, top 4 for years. Since we've taken over, we have taken them to a 12th, an 11th, a 4th, a 6th, and a 5th. So we've made them a solid European contender, I think is safe to say. Let's have a look at how we did in the competitions overall this season. Round of 16 for the Europa League by Newcastle. 5th round of the FA Cup by Crystal Palace. 4th round of the League Cup by Arsenal. Not the best season we could have had in the Premier League. Any big shakings happening? Zaniolo, one of the best average ratings in there. Looking at the squad performance, let's again get rid of all the... I haven't got the senior squad loaded. I don't know what I was thinking. Haven't got the senior squad loaded. Let's look at who's not at the club. That should do it. Somehow. I don't know why it's not showing me all the players. I can't believe I've reduced the squad that much. Let's put some under 21s in there just to flesh things out a little bit. I don't know how we had such a small squad this season. My brain did not compute that. We sold a lot of players. Right. Most appearances for us was Javi Simons. He's made 49 appearances for us, or 49 starts for us, 3 sub-appearances. Most goals was 26 for the evergreen Romelu Lukaku. Great return for him on his return to Liverpool, or the city of Liverpool, not the club, the city of Liverpool. Rooney Bargi, 17 goals for us this season. Baldanzi and Zaniolo get 10. On the assists marks, well, we've got Bargi, Fratesi and Zaniolo on 10, and Lukaku gets 9. Baldanzi still gets himself 8. On the average ratings-wise, we have done very well to get a lot of players. I mean, that's, 9 players with us, plus a 7 or over average rating, and one of them is Josh Bromley. So, 8. 8 first-teamers playing, 7 first-teamers because Archie Gray. Some players did well this season, is what I'm trying to say. Transfer-wise, I did, again, make a few moves in January, but nothing spectacular. Mostly outs, I seem to remember. I see it's right in front of me. The evidence is in front of me. It was mostly outs. I sold Alfie Harrison, and I sent a bunch of players out on loan, but really I've done nothing transfer-wise this season. Crazy nothing. Anyway, we've done fine. I think I've left this club in a good position. Let me know in the comments below, actually, what you think of this rebuild. I know people like to see rebuilds where you take a team and you just take the unlikely team to a title with some good transfer business. And I feel like what I've built here, when you look at the potential, what I've built here can win a title within a couple of years. I think we've got a squad here that I would be leaving you with that would win a title in a couple of years. If I put in the under-18s here, a lot of potential. A lot of potential there. If we look at the players who aren't even at the club right now, the potential's there to build a really great side here. I think a couple more years, you'd win a title with this team. I think it's primed for it. I think I'd be leaving it in a good place. So that, from my point of view, I think it's a good rebuild. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this rebuild. What would you have done differently, do you think? What would you have how would you have approached it you think would have got us a league title? Because I feel like spending money was never really a big option. We're financially just... We've never been good. I haven't even been able to get it to project a profit. The debts, sure, have gone down to... They've gone up. The debts have gone up. It's fun. This club's so unstable. I think we've done as well as we can with it. But let me know in the comments below if you take this save on. Let me know how you did. I'm going to wrap things up with this one though, because I think we've had a good 5 years in charge of Everton. I think we've done okay. We've given them European football. We've given them trophies. We've given them a good young squad to develop. I think we're good trajectory is what I'm saying. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, guys, please do like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave the comments down below. In the comments, while you're down there, actually, challenge me. I want to know who you'd like me to rebuild, how long you're going to give me, and what you'd like me to achieve. Nothing stupid, please. I can't, for example, take Hayes and Yedding and win the Premier League in 6 months. That's not going to happen, because that's not how football works. But maybe you want to see a Forest side that's good in Europe again. Maybe you want to see a rebuild of 1860 Munich. Let's throw out there. Maybe you want to see me turn Espanyol into the top side in Barcelona, or Girona into the top side in Catalonia. Let me know. Challenge me in the comments, and I'll make as many of them as I can. I think that's probably a good way to go forward. So as I said, like and subscribe. I have been chasing Amy. Thank you for watching. I will see you all next time. Until next time, stay safe, have a good, and check out the other stuff on the channel. There's the beginner's guide. There's the Welcome to Roxon series, which is going ridiculously well. There is also the Journeyman or the Journey on the channel as well. Our Journeyman series. Well, we're going to try and travel the world. We're currently, as I record this, in deepest, darkest Sweden, which is probably quite dark at this time of year. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I have always been chasing Lonely. Until next time, stay safe and have a good one.